offensive lineman, big dude. Questions when ready.
Ethan, obviously there's excitement about game week, but for you personally, this has been a big off season for you, some national recognition, but how does that speak to how far you've come in your football career and just the kind of the work you've put in?
I think it also attests to everybody that's helped me along the way. When Coach Huff got here, I wasn't as developed as I was now. Coach BA and kind of all the resources that they've given me, and I think that's the true testament to why I've gotten the recognition and the watch lists and the preseason accolades that I have. I think it's just the help that I've received along the way.
Ethan, talk a little bit about just playing a team, FCS of course, but they won last week, and this is your first game. Is it almost better to if you're going to play an FCS team, to do it on week one when you guys are so eager to get out there and bang around a little bit?
I think we're eager to play anybody. I've watched the film. They're a very talented team up front. They're strong, they're fast. They're nobody to take lightly. So I have a lot of respect for them and what their coaching staff has done with them. I think they've grown a lot better since last season, so I think it'll be a good matchup.
They put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, specifically to the defensive ends. What did you notice about them specifically?
Their defensive ends are very fast. They're twitchy. They're very athletic, strong. I think they play with a very great energy. They play very high motor, and I think it'll be a great matchup for us.
Obviously, second year playing with Cam behind you. How has that chemistry developed, and just the offensive unit as a whole, that cohesion? Does that help going into a new year when there are some unknowns around it?
For sure. I think last year, Cam was kind of coming into the role of trying to gain the respect of a starting quarterback, and I think he's done an excellent job of earning everyone's respect and earning everyone's trust. I think Cam is a very talented quarterback because he can do multiple things. He can throw the ball, he can run, he can take off, and get us out of bad situations. So I think with his overall development, I think that'll be good for us this season.
Coach spoke highly of how Rasheen is playing in camp and how much he's grown. The whole running back room, you got some talent back there. How much does that give you the little peace of mind to just open up a little spot and let him go?
Rasheen Ali, if you think back to 2021, you didn't have to give him much space at all, and he was right there ready to run. So, that gives us a lot of confidence up front, I believe. I think he's due for another big year, and, guys like Ethan Payne and A.J. Turner, they've had great camps and great spring ball, so I think they'll be ready to go as well.
Nice 3D scoreboard up there, huh?
Yeah, massive. Beautiful. Very nice.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Owen, talk a little bit about game week, man. I know this is your last go-round, but there's nothing like finally being able to hit somebody else. What are your thoughts coming into Saturday?
Yeah, first game week in college. Very excited. Feels like every other one, to be honest. Last week, getting to watch other teams play definitely pumped it up a little more. Like Luke and I watched we watched the UTEP game, which is where he's from, and it just brings the surrealness back. You get really hype into it. You really get excited to play, especially last week. So now the motivation's definitely there for sure if it wasn't.
To give them a little bit of an edge, they played a game, and you saw the quarterback was pretty proficient. So is that not if you didn't need to be awakened, but kind of wakes you up to say, hey, we got to go?
Yeah, they're a good team. Their quarterback is really good. Transfer from ODU. He can run. Really good at throwing on the run. Actually has a pretty good deep ball. I've seen it a few times in that game. So we're pretty excited. They'll be a good team to play.
When you're watching film, kind of take me through what you're looking for. Are you more focused on position players, offensive line, or just trying to get a general glimpse of everything?
I'm not going to give away no secrets now, but I'm more looking at our coaching staff does a great job of giving us every play concept and pass protection, and that allows us as a defense and specifically me that I can watch specific players. So I'll watch a game through and watch one player, and then I'll watch the same game and try to pick out little things that each person does. It helps you tip off whether it's one specific play or another.
when you look at their quarterback, to go back to him, is he a little bit more athletic? Is he more cerebral? What are you seeing when he's out there? What kind of player is he more?
He's pretty athletic, honestly. Reminds me a lot of TJ, the Rice transfer, with a better arm. Can run, really good at getting out, especially on pass rush plays. You saw that a lot against Fordham. Looked like they'd have him circled up, and then he'd pop right up out of there and turn a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 into first down. So definitely a great guy running. And at the same time, he keeps his eyes downfield whenever he's running. So if a wide receiver is scramble drill, wide receiver can get out, get open. He's very good at finding people, especially across the middle.
I was just going to ask how this D-line group has been meshing and how y'all's chemistry is.
We look good. I'm very happy with the way the summer went, especially. We needed a lot coming out of spring ball. We were looking good, but we needed to roll in the guys that just got here, the 2 Arizona State transfers. So especially coming out of camp, the chemistry's starting to really pick up. It'll help a lot getting the first game in and actually seeing how people play. But we're looking good. We're all very confident. I'm confident in all them boys, and I give them every edge I can and try to help them with all my experience so they don't have to go through and make the same mistakes I did. You're welcome.
Logan, finally game week. Just talk about your emotions and how eager you are to get out there on Saturday.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. We've had a countdown clock for it's been going on since our last game after the bowl game, and it's crazy to see that clock go from 300 days, and now it's 5 days. So it's surreal. I'm excited.
Can you talk a little bit about Cam's maturation? Coach talked about it. Just what he's done in his development that's kind of opened your eyes a little bit, and Coach Huff's.
Right. He's not only developed as a player, but he's developed as a leader too. He's finally starting to put his foot down and take command of the offense, which we needed him to do. I joke around with him all the time. Last year, just about how he needed to step up a little bit, but now he's finally doing it. He's young, and sometimes I forget that, but he acts like an old head. He acts like he's been here for a while.
When you look at Albany, what stands out about him when you look at him on film? Anything?
I think the best part about their team is their D-line. Their D-line, their quarterback. Quarterback's very talented, but their D-line is I would say, they're starting for could play Division I easily and FBS level. They got twitchy. They might be a little undersized, but they're technicians. They're masters of their craft. They give great effort. Last week they had 8 sacks, and the year before they had 15. And I think not only as a team they've gotten better, but in that defensive group they've really matured and developed their game.
Coach was talking. Oh my gosh, that was not smart here. Okay. Coach was talking earlier just about the offensive line group and how you guys are probably the most senior group on this team that has the strongest chemistry. Just how does it feel, I guess, going into your final year with this specific group?
It's cool. All my friends are older than me right now, so it's like I'm kind of riding their last ride too. So, I think we're as close as we've ever been, honestly. We're always together 24/7, whether we're eating at the cafeteria or we're sitting here watching film together. So we got a special group, and, I think we're going to do some great things this year. Good. Thank you.
Different for you coming over from Wake. All this work now going to pay off on Saturday. Just your emotions about suiting up in the green and white.
I'm really excited. I've been waiting for the game since I committed to Marshall, honestly. I had it circled out on my calendar, but it came faster than what I expected, but I'm extremely excited.
Jage, obviously spent the last 3 years at Wake Forest, so you've been through fall camps and stuff, but how has this fall camp been different for you, and how have you grown?
Well, they did move me to safety, so that definitely changed up a lot, changed how I played on the field. But I think I've grown more as a leader here, and in the role at safety you kind of have to be. But I feel like I've developed solely as a player, thanks to Coach Huff and the staff, and and thanks to the players around me helping me get better. So I think the development part is a big piece.
What you notice in Albany's opener with Poffenberger, great numbers as a quarterback last year as a freshman and in the opener, but also I think hit 10 or 11 different receivers. What kind of pressure do they put on a defense?
He's a talented quarterback. You know, he makes plays with his legs. Also has a really good arm. Definitely improved since last year. But I mean, you can tell he's unselfish. You know, it doesn't matter who he's throwing the ball to. But you know, last year we thought 2 was their guy, and this year he kind of, like you said, he hit 10 different targets for completions, which shows that he's willing to throw it to any of his receivers. So you know, he has a level of trust for them, and you know, he's really talented.
When you're facing a dual threat quarterback like that, you know, how does that kind of change your role, especially now as a safety?
Just make sure that when he escapes the pocket to stay on your man, you know, because I think Owen said it, scramble drill, he likes to run around and he's looking to throw the ball, so we just need to make sure that we stay on top of who we're supposed to be guarding no matter what.
Thanks, judges.
Coach spoke highly of you. It's hard to get compliments sometimes out of Coach, but he's talked about how you've matured in camp and kind of taken this year so seriously because some of what happened to you last year. Is that kind of the way you see it as well?
Yeah, definitely. I look at it as another opportunity that God gave me because, like, before I wouldn't say I was taking it for granted or anything, but sometimes you know how. I don't know. I feel like it was moments where I wasn't taking it for granted, but I was putting in the work. I just think that me getting sat down due to my injury definitely helped me out a lot and made me mature.
Focusing on Albany just a little bit, when you look at them, what do you see from them? You know, what are they going to try to do to maybe stop you?
What I see from Albany, I see a scrappy group. They're willing to try and stop the run and be as physical as they can be up front, and just they bring a lot of pressures in ways to just try and stop the run and just put pressure on the quarterback and just different ways like that. So, but I've been watching all the film and just preparing, taking a lot of notes, so I'm ready for whatever comes.
Backtrack to a couple years ago, nobody knew your name coming into the year. You know, they weren't ready for the 4 touchdowns against Navy, but this year everyone knows the name, knows your capabilities, and knows what you're able to do. Does that change the way you're able to approach the year, knowing that people have their eyes on you?
No, not really, because honestly, if we stick to the game plan and just when I trust my fundamentals, at the end of the day, it's still football. They could try as many plans as possible, but once we execute as up front and just everybody do their job, everything should go smooth.
You know, obviously, open up Saturday. We've talked about Albany, but how excited are you to get in front of this fan base again? I know you got to play in front of them once last year, but you know, what goes through your head when you run out of that tunnel and there are herd fans around?
Oh no, it feels good. I'm excited, honestly. Even in mock game, like running out there, just kind of putting my mental in the mindset of already being at the game, it felt good, especially going out there without a knee brace. So I'm excited about that. I'm able to just feel like myself again and just be explosive and dominate, really.
Something to prove for you, you think, as you go into this season?
It's always something to prove for myself because I got a chip on my shoulder. Like at all times, I want to be the best me possible. So definitely for myself, I got something to prove.
Just what are your emotions going into Saturday? I know, it's been a while since you've had a home opener like this. Just what are your personal emotions going into it?
I'm super excited to just play in front of the fans, and I'm just anxious to get back out there, the atmosphere, the new scoreboard. I like the vibes that the AD and Coach Huff that they bringing in. So I'm just super excited to just play like in front of the new culture, really.
You see yourself running down that direction and maybe looking up and saying, all right, I'm gone, or someone's right on my heels?
Oh, no, I always, when I run, I just try and look at the goal line and really just keep straight. I never just try and watch because my coaches say make them run you down if they're going to catch you. So I just keep my eyes focused and just locked in. But I definitely visualize moments that I'm going to have in this game, God willing. Good. Thank you.
Micah, game week, man, is if nothing else needs to be said, right? Talk about it.
Yes, sir. Exciting one.
Yeah, with camp and everything, and just talk a little bit about Albany coming in. They're an FCS team, but they obviously were impressive last week, and their quarterback has really been impressive. So has that got your attention?
No, for sure. They're obviously a team that we respect every opponent. We don't take any team lightly. Coming into this game, we obviously know that they like to throw the ball. And he seems like a hell of a quarterback. I think he threw for like 253 yards or something, like 21, 23 completions. So we're definitely not taking anything lightly, and I mean, it's a hell of a team.
Do you like that coming in against a guy you know is going to throw it around? I mean, obviously that makes your job more important. It's always important, but as important because this guy's going to throw it around a little bit.
No, of course, any team that comes in and they like to throw the ball, it's more opportunities for the back end. Is more opportunities for just the team to make plays, and it's kind of just like a challenge for me and the rest of the team.
He used a bunch of different receivers, got the ball to a bunch of different guys. What does that receiving core, what kind of pressure do they put on the secondary?
A lot, because you don't know. He doesn't really have a favorite receiver. As you said, I think he completed to 10 or 12 different guys, so it's not really like a receiver you can pick out that his favorite. He'll share the ball around, and he'll get it to any one of those guys, so you kind of have to be on point for all of them.
Micah, you finished last season with a lot of accolades. Just how much do you pay attention to that, and are you going to like focus on that as trying to surpass that this year, or is it just kind of a blank slate and you're just going to go out there and do what you can do?
We try not to really look into last year. It's a new year. I just try to stay as consistent as I can be. It's new year, new goals, new challenges.
From the beginning of fall camp to now, what's the biggest area of growth you've seen in this defense as you kind of develop that chemistry and get to know each other?
For the past few years, Marshall has had a strong suit defense, a strong, willing defense. I think it's kind of hard for camp, I would say, but as the games go on, the stronger that we'll get, and just the chemistry and connections that we all have, from not just the DBs, but to DNs, the D-line, to linebackers, to the back end too. So.
All good. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Well, Eli, it's game week. This group you're playing already played last week, so you got a little film to watch. And what are your thoughts now as you get ready for Saturday?
Man, first of all, I'm excited. And I was just outside talking 300-plus days go into this for us to have 12 opportunities. And like I've said before, we tired of hitting on each other. It's time to get active this Saturday. Looking at the opponent, I feel like it's a team that is definitely taking a step forward since last year, going off of their film from last week. I feel like they got some guys that can definitely make plays. The quarterback has done an amazing job extending plays with his legs, and I'm just looking forward to the matchup. I feel like we're going to have a bunch of fun Saturday.
You expand on him a little bit more, quarterback. Is he more of a ground threat? What do you see from him? What are his tendencies?
He can do it all, everything on the field. He's shown that he can make different throws down the field, quick game, outside, and his legs just help that. I would say that he's a true dual threat. He can hurt you with his legs by extending the plays. I think he loves to keep his eyes downfield and look to throw the ball downfield as he's scrambling.
And to follow up on that, the guy like that who's pretty good at that position, that excites you even more knowing that you're going up against a really good quarterback?
No, for sure. What we play for is competition. We love competition, and I feel like that's, as a fan base here, as the players, like, we love to go out there and be able to go against and look across and be like, that's a good player, like, and be able to have fun and do it that way.
You mentioned the 12 opportunities, obviously 12 games in the regular season, but only 6 more chances to walk out there into the zone in front of a home crowd. What does that mean to you every time you're able to do that?
It's just something about that "We Are Marshall" chant. Anytime I'm able to hear that in the zone, just makes you feel just that sense of pride of wearing that Kelly green when we go out there. I try not to put too much into it, try not to get too sentimental, because at the end of the day, a job has to be done. But it's definitely bittersweet coming into this week. I'm like, dang, this is really the last one. And like I said before, I always prepare like it's my last, but it truly is. So I'm just taking everything with a grain of salt, taking it day by day, and enjoying each and every day I can. So today, I'm about to make this the best Tuesday practice I'd have never had and that we've ever had. So that's all I'm worried about right now.
Thanks, Eli.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.